Hi friends, Sarah here and welcome back to another Plan With Me video. Today, I'm setting up March in my 2021 bullet journal. I'm currently using the 8x8 size by Archer and Olive, and I've pretty much accepted at this point that I'll forever be picking cat and dog hair off the fabric cover. The other day I even took a lint roller to it, which actually worked surprisingly well. I guess I'll be adding lint rollers to my planner supplies list from now on. Anyways, let's talk about this month's theme. Vincent Van Gogh has been a favorite of mine for years. I love Impressionism and Post-Impressionism from artists like Monet and Cassatt, but there's something about who Van Gogh was as a person, as seen through both his artwork and his letter writing, that is deeply relatable and fascinating to learn about. He painted Starry Night in June of 1889, not long before his death in 1890. The painting shows a just before sunrise view from the window of his asylum room, but with an imaginary village. I saw Starry Night at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City a couple years ago, and I was blown away. It was amazing to see in person. Then just recently, I took a deep dive into his life and works by virtually exploring the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Right now, the museum is closed because of the pandemic, but not that I could even get there on a day trip anyway, but they have so many wonderful online resources, including a Google Street View of the whole museum. I'll link to their website in the description below if you want to check it out. As you can see from my cover page this month, I am recreating the sky portion of the famous Starry Night painting and adding my own imaginative touches to the foreground by including my kitty, Mr. Veek, and what I hope is in the spirit of the Impressionism style. It was a little challenging to try to recreate what was originally made with oil paints with my Tombow dual brush pens and Crayola super tip markers. And not gonna lie, I was a little terrified when I started mixing the brown and the black on the silhouette of the cat. It wasn't really turning out how I planned in my head. I was just trying to match the dark brown color of the building in the original painting, and at first I was convinced I had messed the whole page up. But it all came together in the end, I think. I just tried to add layers of swishes and swirls to any part that didn't look have enough forward movement or motion, if that makes sense. After a quick reorganizing of my pens, I made a simple grass landscape before moving on to the lettering. The font I chose for the cover page is one that I thought resembled Van Gogh's own handwriting. He wrote many letters back and forth to his brother over the years, letters that have been compiled and published in many different volumes. The quote on the opposite page here is taken from the Letters of Vincent Van Gogh, and in its entirety reads, "Seek only light and freedom, and do not immerse yourself too deeply in the worldly mire. Yes, good one, Vincent. I will indeed try to avoid the ongoing stretches of swampy grounds of life and continue to draw stars instead. As part of this Plan With Me video, I wanted to read one of Van Gogh's letters to his brother Theo in its entirety, but it actually proved to be a tricky thing. Van Gogh died in 1890, so his work is in the public domain in many countries where the copyright term is the author's life plus 100 years or less. This is also why so many people are able to recreate Van Gogh's paintings without copyright issues. Van Gogh's works are in the public domain in the United States because they were published or registered with the U.S. Copyright Office before January 1st, 1923. While letters written by Vincent are in the public domain as well, translations from the original language they were written are often under copyright of the respective owner who translated them. So I wasn't able to read the letter as intended since I unfortunately don't speak French. By now, I have moved on to drawing the rest of my monthly setup. If you have watched my other Plan With Me videos or follow me on Instagram, you will see that I use a lot of these layouts again and again. They really work for me and I'm not having any issues with them, so why fix something that isn't broken? The first page or full page spread of my monthly setup after the cover page is normally what I call the daily log. This is where I write down my daily activities after the fact. I don't always follow through with my theme from the cover page throughout the rest of the spreads for the month, but this was just too good to pass up. And unfortunately, every time I look at what I drew here, it kind of reminds me of ocean waves and not so much the starry night, but painting and art is so much about using our imaginations, right? So I really think that it is okay. And when you don't like something in your bullet journal, you just move on. There's always a chance to try again later. And for me, it's so much about practicing art and sharing the art, and ultimately a bullet journal for me is a functionality. So if it can function the way I need it to and be beautiful at the same time, I am a happy camper. So with all that being said, I think I will leave you here now and let you listen to the music, and maybe you are sitting with a cup of tea with your own bullet journal in front of you. And so I just invite you to soak up the energy that Vincent Van Gogh has put out into the world. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you at my next Plan With Me video. Bye!